Okay, good. So, thank you again. This is the problem with me. I love Dvorak so much that if I start talking about it, I might talk too much, but I'm going to try to really reel it in. But there's, first of all, about the Manhattan Chamber Players. Obviously, we're a group that plays in different combinations. If you've seen us in past years, you've seen a little bit more variety than today in some cases, because we're just doing quintets and quartets, but we play trios, we play stuff with piano, obviously not here, with winds, and we play a lot in the New York City area. So as Lucas was saying, we have CDs for sale, but we also have a mailing list that you can sign up for, and we'll email you about once or twice a month. You're not going to get a daily email from us. I don't have time for that. But about once or twice a month, you'll get an email talking about concerts that we have in the area. We have a series in New York. We're playing in Bethel Woods on September 14th. We're playing in Wave Hill, which is right outside New York, in Riverdale on the 24th. And we're playing in Red Bank, New Jersey on the 17th. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Sign up for the mailing list. We'll let you know about things. And we'll love to visit with you after the concert as well. Now, about this piece that we're about to play, Dvorak's American Quartet is one of his most popular quartets. This piece is not as well known. I'm not going to say it's not known at all. It does get played, but it's not nearly as well known. He wrote it immediately after the quartet. He wrote the quartet in 2 weeks, actually in 10 days. He was record timing, he was so inspired. This piece he took a little longer on, he took about 3 weeks to write. It was still very much a product of inspiration in the moment. But it is kind of like the American Quartet's bigger brother. It's a little bit longer, I think it's perhaps a little more musically mature, but it still has all the good fun and good humor in it. But there are some similarities. For example, the American Quartet, you remember, starts out with a viola solo, right? And this little... And this one starts out with a viola solo too. And it goes like this. Which may not sound similar to you as the American Quartet, but if I put the American Quartet solo in the same key as the quintet, they go... And then... So, anyway, there is that similarity for sure. But another thing is that both pieces have to do with Dvorak strongly believing that American composers needed to find their own voice. Now, you remember me talking about how there wasn't an American conservatory of music and you had to go to Europe to study. Similar to that, American composers all composed in the European style. They basically just kind of copied the European masters as best they could, and many with good results, but nothing distinctively American about the compositions. And when Dvorak came to America, he realized that there were all these natural influences we had here, African American spirituals, Native American drumming in some cases. All of these were things that he thought American composers should try to draw inspiration from for the pieces they wrote. And he tried to put some of those elements into his pieces, such as the New World Symphony and the pieces we're playing today. Not to say American composers do this, because that would have been the opposite, because he was European too, but here are some ideas, try it out, develop your own voice. And then, a couple of decades later, you have people like Charles Ives and Aaron Copland doing their thing, really finding that American voice. So one of the things about this piece that I'll leave you with, because you wouldn't know it otherwise, is Dvorak was really bothered by the fact that America's national anthem in 1893 was My Country 'Tis of Thee. We had the words for Star Spangled Banner, but not the tune. So when Americans stood up to sing their national anthem, they would go, My country 'tis, which is the same tune as God Save the Queen, which is England's national anthem. It really bothered Dvorak that being a former English colony, his own land being a colony of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, that Americans were still singing the national anthem of England, basically. So he thought that we could still use the same words, but we should come up with a different tune. And he wrote a tune for that, which he put into this piece, actually. He wound up, never wound up happening that it became our national anthem, but he put it in this piece. And so, if you take My Country 'Tis of Thee and put it to this tune, Sing with me. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. And so on. And you're going to hear that in the third movement of this piece.
Sounds good.
About a million times. Yeah, it's not bad, right? I thought you meant the piece. So anyway, this is Dvorak's kind of love letter to America, this piece. I think it's appropriate for the occasion, as I said, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. Thank you.